and welcome to the Lens for Radio tutorial on how to respond to a request for proposal from the seller's perspective. So now I'm in Lens and I can see that I have a notification here. So as a seller, I could either get a notification through my email or through Lens. So I'm just going to click on here and I see that I have a notification from a buyer for a campaign for Shreddies. So I'm going to click right in, use that link, and this will take me right to Lens, right into the campaign. So here's my campaign, and I can right away see the parameters. So it's for Kellogg's, one market, one demo. If I select more info, I can see that it's for the Toronto market based on the fall book, and it's a 3-week campaign. So what I'm going to do is create my schedule. So there's another tutorial on how to load schedules, but I'm going to go in and just create a schedule from scratch. So I'll just pick the top station here, and I'm going to quickly fill my schedule. So now when I have my schedule filled, I'm ready to send it back to the buyer. Now you can change day parts and occasions, spot length, and we have a separate tutorial for that. But for this, I'm just going to submit this schedule back to the buyer by using this button at the top here. So once I do that, I can see a quick overview of what I'm going to submit, the spend, the GRP, and the CPP. And here we also have a summary of the dollars. If I want to add an email message back to the buyer, I can put that here. So if you do not fill in anything in this box here, it's optional to do so, but if you don't fill it in, what that means is the buyer will not get an email. They will get a notification in Lens, but not an email. You also have the option to send yourself a copy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to submit this schedule back to the buyer. Now I'll exit out of here, and what you can see is the status has changed to offered, and what this means is you're waiting for the buyer's reply. So once the buyer replies, you can see that the status changes to requested. And what this means is the buyer has sent something back to you, and it requires your attention. So I'm going to go in and view the schedule. So when I take a look at the schedule, I can see that I submitted on a 3 frequency and the buyer changed it to 2. So I'm going to change it back. In my negotiation here, I'm going to change it back to a 2.5. So now I'm ready to submit this schedule back to the buyer. So I will submit it. I've got an option here to check what was previously submitted and now what I'm currently offering. And once again, if I want the buyer to get an email notification, I will put in a message here and I can always send myself a copy. So I'm going to submit this schedule and go back, and now the status changes back to offered because I'm waiting for the buyer to reply to what I have submitted. And now you can see that the buyer has sent it back, and she has accepted it. So I can just take a look at this and book my schedule. So no need to make any further changes. You can see that the status is now in booking. And what that means is this is confirmed with the buyer. So this concludes the Lens for Radio training video from the seller's perspective. For the full series of Lens for Radio tutorial series, please visit support.nlogic.ca and click on Lens for Radio.